in the Western world, I believe that the spirit is the least understood aspect of ourselves. It's so tainted with religious ideology that it's almost impossible to ascertain its true nature. And we run into a serious linguistic handicap right from the start, because in the West, the word spirit is used in many different contexts. For example, first, there is the spirit that we receive when we were born. That's the one that comes to you from your oversoul, from your higher self. And second, there is the spirit of our ancestors that we receive through our mothers and fathers. These are, in fact, aspects of the same totality, but they exist in very different states of quality. Now, in English, the word spirit comes from the Latin word spiritus, which means breath. In Hebrew and in Arabic, the word ruach, R-U-A-C-H, means both spirit as well as breath. And in the Judeo-Christian tradition, God breathes life into form. All three of our monotheistic religions are in agreement about this. But in the inner mystical world, if you look carefully, it's not some fatherly or motherly monogod sitting up in heaven who breathes this spirit into us. It's our own spiritual higher self, or oversoul, or God self, from whom the spirit essence is derived. This means that each of us derives our composite spiritual essence from three sources. There's the collective energy spirit complex we receive from our mother through the egg. There's the composite energy spirit complex we receive through the sperm from our father. And there is the collective personal energy spirit complex we received from our own higher self when we took our first breath. This is when the essence arrived, and it is the breath that connects our collective energy spirit complex to our physical bodies. Now, it's in this way that heaven, our personal oversoul, and earth, our biological, parental, matter, energy, spirit complex, receive unity. They achieve unity. Heaven and earth achieve unity through us. This collective merging of spirit from three sources began with the arrival of our personal essence when we took our first breath, and it will leave as a composite when we release our last. Now, while we're in life on the physical plane, this spiritual, collective spiritual essence, derived from the mother, father, higher self, is carried by and associated with our energy body. And it's this energetic complex that connects us to our ancestors, our maternal ancestors, our paternal ancestors, and our personal spiritual ancestors. But it changes as we pass through life, increasing or diminishing in response to what we do and become here on the physical plane of action. It changes and diversifies and grows as it passes through time. This spirit energy is the core essence of who and what we are. Like the electromagnetic field carried by a strip of mylar, for example, in a video or audio cassette or even on a CD, our energy body in association with our physical body carries the psychic energetic blueprint of our biological ancestors on the one hand and our personal higher self, spirit self complex of our ancestors on the other. So it really records a personal record of our current memories, life experiences, and what we've become in this life as well. So what I'm going to suggest is that we do another journey now in which we journey into our personal ancestral field. Each of us has a personal ancestral field carried by our higher self, our oversoul. And this field is energetic in nature. And since energy is immortal, it serves as a connection between our current selves and all of our former selves and former lives. This means that the Oversoul can serve as an interface or porthole, not only to all of our former lives, but also to all life experiences and the collective wisdom acquired in those former lives. So we're going to do a journey now, kind of like a journey of exploration to see how far back we can go. You know, there are different ways you can do this. As I've mentioned, each one of us receives a seed of light from our Oversoul field when we draw our first breath. And that seed, that bowl of light, resides within our hearts, nourishing us and sustaining us during our life here on the physical plane. If you turn your attention towards your heart and begin to breathe into your heart, it's about activating that connection to your higher self. And that seed of light within your heart is kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of like a continuum. It's kind of like it's kind of like if you turn your attention in that direction and you start to breathe into your heart, it activates your connection with your higher self. And it's a touchdown. You can actually inquire about the life that you lived before this one. You can form the intention to travel backward in time to connect with your former life and gain a glimpse of it and try to learn who you were, where you lived, and when. So this could be a journey to connect with an ancestral self which was sourced into you through the matrix of your Oversoul, because that seed of light within you it contains within itself everything which is contained within your Oversoul field. And when you turn your attention in that direction, it actually allows those connections to become active. And so you could form an intention very carefully held by your mental soul to see what you can learn about the life that you lived before this one. Where did you live? What was your name? Were you male? Were you female? What was your job description? What were your life lessons during that life? This is about past life regression work, yes, but we're not using hypnosis. We're using shamanic journey work to see what we can learn about that former self and a former life. So I'm going to just leave this suggestion with you, and I'm going to pick up my rattle again and rattle for you. And allow your mind to turn your attention towards your heart and begin to breathe into your heart to activate your connection with your Oversoul field. And then form a very strongly held intention to see what you can learn about the life that you led before this one. Because that life is archived into your higher self, into your Oversoul. It's all in there. It's just a matter of learning how to access it. So I'm going to stop talking now and pick up Sandra Ingerman's rattle and rattle for you for about 12, 15 minutes, and then we'll bring the rattling to a close, and we'll see how you did. Just allow the information to come to you. Pay very close attention to anything that comes up in your mind, because anything that comes up, even if you think you might be making it up, anything that comes up is going to be of service to you. It's going to be real. And as you move into this practice of shamanic journey work more and more deeply, you will learn how to trust what it is that you're receiving. And this is not a small thing. So let's see how we do. I'm going to journey with you, and hopefully after 12 or 15 minutes, I'll be aware of the fact that time has passed and bring the rattling to a close. So let's try it. So there you are. And here I am. Oh, I had a wonderful visit with one of my grandfathers during the rattling in. You know, while you guys are journeying, I'm journeying. You have your work to do. I have my work to do. And so, you know, this was a wonderful experience for me.